fellow viewers and subscribers, and this is Supercholatemilkshake, and I am here with a bit of a fan art video. So, to introduce this one, basically, it's kind of an interesting story. I remember watching a video from Emirichu. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Anyway, don't get me wrong, I think I might have been pronouncing it wrong the whole time, so if you're watching this video, you can slap me with a 2x4 anytime. So, with that being said, I remember watching a video about a year ago that she posted about some strange habits. Now, I have to say, I actually thought about one of these strange habits and went like, if she ran across this shake, I wonder if she would just start sniffing it to see if he was good. So, that's kind of what I started drawing. Okay, but that also makes me raise the question, and this is not just aimed at one particular person either. What would you do if you met a 5-foot-tall talking milkshake with arms and a cape? Just asking. Anyway, let's get on to the first part of the video. I'm going to talk about the shake here first. Technically, when I first drawed him, it was back in 2019, back when I still had the skinny transition to the bottom, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of this, actually. I kind of regret it looking back. It's a part of the shake lineage, but honestly, I think I prefer the more wider approach, because now it doesn't look like two triangles stacked on top of each other. It looks more like a milkshake glass, which is kind of the approach that I was trying to go for. But at least the good news about it is that at least the shake is a very simple character to draw. In fact, when it comes down to it, I can draw him from my memory at the back of my mind. I don't really have to pull reference from anything or absolutely anything like that. It's kind of a benefit of working with the character for over 8 years now. So, well, over 8 years. Over 8 years. Man, I can't believe it's been that long. But, I'm not gonna lie, when it comes down to it, I've grown very fond of the character. He developed a bit of a personality of his own, I guess. A personality that you also see inside the online comic for Weblums. But other than that, I guess I'm happy to have him as a mascot. He is definitely a likable character nonetheless, and honestly, I do enjoy having him. So hopefully you guys enjoy him too. Okay, so I guess I'm done talking about the shake. That was probably the shortest portion. Now, on to Emirichu, the character himself, which I had a hard time drawing. First of all, to give you a quick little glimpse, Emirichu is a storytime animator. And granted, I don't mind watching their videos from every now and then. It doesn't necessarily mean that I watch them all the time. But when it comes down to it, there are some videos that do stand out to me, and honestly, I gotta give them credit where credit is due. At least they brought animation back onto YouTube. Not in the way I was hoping that they bring it back, but in a way. So, to be fair and honest, sorry, hopefully I'm not too critical. If not, you can always slap me later. So, besides that, this took me a lot of time to draw. In fact, I actually had to redraw this image. Redraw her character more than once. It's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, like I said, I drew the base about a year ago, and I decided, well, it's finally time to finish this. And honestly, I think it's kind of embarrassing that I'm finishing it about a year later, but, you know, I guess a step back from your art can really enlighten your perception quite a bit. Even though, to be honest, I don't think the final results ended up all that good either. Here's the thing, I was drawing on a tablet, and I'm not really good at doing that. I wished I was better, but I'm not. But that's the thing. It's kind of the catch-22. If I don't draw on it, I don't get better, and that's the thing. I mean, it's kind of like a recent video that she also posted where she said that she doesn't have talent. That is an outright lie! Hopefully she doesn't chew me out for that one. Because, you know, it isn't true that you do not have talent. Because everybody has talent. Everybody has their own little ways of perceiving things. They have their own little ways of telling things. They all have their ways of putting their own spin on things. Seriously, when it comes down to it, I got into music because of my older sister. I actually didn't enjoy it. I had a long learning process, but after a while, after I hit high school, I started getting really good at playing the baritone. Then, of course, I started studying music and music theory and composition, and while I may not be the best, I will admit, I've gotten miles better. If you want to check out my music channel, there's a link down below. In fact, there's a ton of links down below. So anyway, and when it comes down to it, this is also the reason why I was drawing her, was because I wanted to learn how to draw a little more like the master, you know? I mean, I look up to other sources for inspiration, whether it be other YouTubers or other artists or other music artists, you know? Because I always aspire, okay? I always try to push myself to be a better version of myself. I always try to do something different, do something new, and do something unique. And honestly, that was kind of the whole point of doing this fan art from the very get-go, was because I wanted to be better at drawing, period, and drawing people. Because it's not necessarily one of my greatest strong suits to draw people. I'm still learning at it, I'm still trying to process it, I'm still trying to get the better of it. In fact, when it comes down to it, hands and feet are pretty much my worst enemy. But, like I said, I'm trying to learn at it, and if I don't do it, I never learn. Again, rephrasing that. In fact, I think I even had like 2 full pages inside a sketchbook once where I just had full nothing but hands. So, you know, I really hate drawing hands. I really do. But like I said, it's kind of a struggle. And of course, you also see it right here too, where honestly, there's several times where it ends up looking like a claw. There's several times where it ends up looking like a flipper. And there's several times where, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. So, yeah. Yeah, it was a kind of learning curve. Again, with the tablet and all that other stuff, I'm better at traditional. I'm just better with pencil and paper. I know I could have stuck to that, but honestly, like I said, again, you never learn unless you don't do it. So, other than that, I will heavily criticize myself on this one, though, because, first of all, I'm not happy about some of the lines being kind of wobbly. I don't know why, but most of the lines I usually draw, especially when it comes on to a tablet, are like really wobbly, and I don't get why. I think it might be something unstable with my wrist. I don't know if it's something unstable with my arm or something, but I don't know. Most of the time I was using my arm and moving it along. I've been getting a little bit better about using my whole arm, even though honestly I'm still not perfect at it, especially when it comes down to using a tablet. But at the same time, I've been trying to work on my craft, I'm trying to work on my skills, and I'm trying to get a little bit better. You know what? I'm still a long ways away from when I first started drawing, which was just stick people, you know? Talk about a very embarrassing start. I don't even want to talk about those characters yet, okay? The original characters that I had before the Supercholatemilkshake. So, yeah, I went a long ways since then, but I still need a lot of work. Honestly, I feel like some of the proportions were off. I feel like her figure wasn't exactly... I don't think her figure was necessarily the best. I don't think it was as feminine as I would want it to be, while not trying to be too feminine, but... it was kind of a pain in the butt to do, okay? I'm not bad with female figures, it's just the fact that I still need work with them. And I mean, that's the thing. However, faces I'm fine with. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, I know how to make a face look really good. In fact, when I first started with Valerie, one of my characters for Weblims, I'm going to bring her up as an example. I originally designed her without bangs, but then I added bangs, and actually, all of a sudden, she had more character to her. So I decided to stick with the bangs throughout the entire thing, and honestly, I think it makes her look a bit more prettier. So with that in mind, I was trying to work on the character design here. I'm trying to keep it as true to the her design to her character as much as I possibly could. Some of it I was doing by memory, some of it I wasn't. There was times where I actually had to search her name up for reference, and there was times when I actually had to pop open a book about how to draw manga in order to draw certain aspects, like, for example, the eyes and the hands. And actually, even the hands I didn't quite get correct, because I also had to search online how to draw hands. Also, several times, you also see me scroll through some of my previous artworks, and you'll also see me scroll through a friend's artwork. By the way, just to let you know, I'm going to plug in the friend's link to her Deviantart account down below. She is from Korea. She's a sweetheart. She is an amazingly talented artist, okay? She has probably more talent in her left pinky than I do in my whole body, and that's saying a lot. So, tell you the truth, be sure to follow her. It probably make her happy, and don't tell her that I sent her, okay? She'll probably figure it out on her own. But either way, I was scrolling through that, and I was trying to take inspiration and trying to do a little bit better and trying to improve my own craft. Because, I mean, when it comes down to it, I have to look at some of my previous artworks again, just to remind myself that, yes, I can do some pretty good job. I can do a pretty good job. In fact, when it comes down to it, this picture of a little girl, this picture of a wolf, kind of proves it. I can do way better. Way, way better. And I know I can also do way better with a tablet. Because this picture of Luigi is anything to go by. Yeah, I can actually do better with a tablet. But I guess I still need to work at it. It's still something that I'm trying to slowly progress towards too, and I guess drawing every day does kind of help. So when it came down to it, this was a bit of a 2-day process for this drawing and sort of painting. And I guess that's kind of fair. I recorded this video in the span of 2 days. It's like over 8 hours, because there were moments where I had to stop and do some other things too, and also refresh myself, get myself away from the art, and take a step back and go like, okay, time to refresh my eyes. I went back and then went like, okay, yeah, I see this, I see this, I see this, I see this. And when I went back to the next day, well, there were still some ugly things that still apparently stood out to me. Well, beyond all that, I guess that's all I have to say about the drawing process. Now it's time to talk about the coloring process, which actually wasn't really all that bad, actually. I just used my standard color picker to pick some random colors and then colored everything in. Well, outside of the shake, because, I mean, the shake was very specific. I mean, there was the Choco. For that one, there was like a color called Choco, and I commonly use that. Then I use gray 60%. Then I also use English red for the cherry, RGB blue for the cape, and there was Antonio blue for the back of the cape, for the darker side of the cape. And, there were like 3 different types of blue I also used too, one of them being RGB again, but there was like 3 different types of blue that I used for the eyes, because, you know, the shake has blue eyes, and I'm not going to deny that. Beyond all that, I also decided to go for a bit of a sunset orange for some of the lighting in this photo, so, you know, I wanted to include a little bit of lighting. There was a bit of darkness inside the corner over there too, because I wanted to have the lighting point in a certain direction, which is why I have the vanishing point up in the corner. Then, of course, with Emirichu, it wasn't that bad to do some of the shading, even though, honestly, with the hair, I decided to shade in a little bit more strands of hair. Not that it looked all that great, but in the final product, it's barely noticeable anyway, thanks to the lighting. Oh, thank goodness that saved me. But then, this is also when I noticed that my hand looks kind of ugly, and my feet don't look really good either. Man, oh man, oh man. And also, I didn't really know what kind of color shoes she wore. Yeah. I actually describe it best in a little note that I also make on the side where it's like, what kind of man would look down at a girl's feet? Unless there's like a fetish involved. But also, like I said, I don't really do necessarily that good with feet. I still got a lot to learn, and I still got a lot to do. And I still got a lot to improve on, so, you know, it's gonna be a long, rough journey, but, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, I'm trying to be a better artist, I'm trying to be a better animator, and overall, just trying to be a better person. Also, that's kind of why I uploaded a video that says I'm looking for criticism. If you want to check that out and give me as much criticism you can, please go right ahead. Hit me up. Give me the worst you got. But beyond all that, I mean, I guess I'm not too upset with how it ended up. Even though, honestly, I still didn't end up liking the final product because, well, I still think there's something about it that looks ugly. I mean, the face looks alright, and honestly, actually, with the face and the hair, I somehow managed to capture her style rather well. I don't know how, I don't know why, I just did. It was something that just miraculously happened. And honestly, I'm kind of grateful for that, but otherwise, the rest of the body kind of looks, like it needs a lot of help. And I need to be smacked in the face with a hot frying pan. So, But other than that, I guess that was the final image that I ended up with. I might come back and redraw it maybe in a couple of years, maybe. I don't know, see how much I improved. But, who knows? I don't know. It's going to be hard to say. But overall, I guess it's not too disappointing that it ended up the way it ended up. So, anyway, I guess that's all I have to say about this image. Anyway, also I have to move on. This will be the last normal video that I'll be uploading for about a month, because the month of scares will be officially starting tomorrow. So if you want to subscribe for that, please go right ahead, because tell you the truth, actually the month of scares, for the previous years anyway, has had some of the best content that this channel has ever produced. And I'm not lying either. It had some of the best content. And tell you the truth, with this year's Month of Scares, I'm also going to have access to all the previous years of Month of Scares, okay? Everything that I've done previously, like my Five Nights at Freddy's walkthrough and all that, it's going to be coming back for a limited amount of time. So please enjoy those videos too while you can. So anyway, beyond all that, well, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment down below. Like I said, what would you do if you met a giant milkshake? How did I do? What can I improve upon? How can I do better? And, how long is it probably going to take me? And give me at least as much advice as you possibly can. But if you got just straight up hate, hey, I'll take it too. I've got thick skin. So, anyway, besides all that, well, this is Super Chocolate Milkshake. Well, actually, I'll see you all in the Month of Scares. This is Super Chocolate Milkshake signing off. I can't believe I screwed up my own outro.